letting people in the room. Good to see you, Rosa, Joseph, Hillary. Tracy's joining us. And I'm going live. Go live, go live. Okay, all set. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning. May I open us up in prayer? Father, we thank you for who you are. We thank you for the privilege to have you in our lives, in our marketplace, in our ministry. And Lord, we commit this day and every day to you. We thank you for guiding us, for providing for us, and for giving us the wisdom to walk in your ways, Lord. We trust in your promises, and we give you glory for all you have done and all you will do in our lives. May we be a blessing to everyone we encounter, a beacon of light, and faithful stewards of your gifts. In Jesus' name, amen. Can you all hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Anybody who would like to share a win or a gain? Rosa, can I spotlight you? Or so sorry, Joseph?
Yes. Sure.
Let me spotlight you.
Okay. Hi, Christian.
Hi.
Well, I want to share something that I did spontaneously, and it worked so beautifully. I decided to bring up my mastermind group 1 week early because I wanted to get my people ready for next year, just like Coach Sheila is
Yes.
doing, getting the roadmap ready. I have the same
Yes.
idea. And I was so surprised that I only gave them 1 day's notice and 10 people showed up.
Whoa. That's hallelujah.
It's really
That's good.
fun.
That's amazing. Yes.
And the energy in the room, it really told me that they were ready to rock and roll for 2025, that we really
Amen.
resonated at the same
Yes.
place and we're all ready to roll in 2025 big time. So it's good
Amen.
vibes.
That's very good. And what was the trigger for you to do it like now, 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 now?
Oh, the trigger for me to do it like 1 week earlier, you mean?
Yes.
It was because I met two amazing women globally across the world and who resonated so well with my spiritual beliefs, my thoughts, my business beliefs, the fact that I want to bring more love in the workplace, and they also want to do it even and stay professional. And it was just so synergistic
Yes.
that we had to get together and do it. So it was team, the idea of doing this in a team, the three
Yes.
of us, we pulled it together. And now we're going to do more. We're going to do more things together.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Anybody else that would like to share?
I'd love to share.
Yes. Let me spotlight you. Is that Lori? No,
Hillary.
no. Hillary. Okay, sorry. I don't see everybody on the screen. That's why. Yes. Can I really?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm really excited. I had recent clarity, thanks to Coach Heaven, of just a different coaching, stepping into a different type of coaching. I've always thought of myself as a health coach, although that didn't really excite me. And so
Yes.
after kind of going through some things with her, just as she promises, so much clarity and excitement. I've got that. What do you call it? Excited, scared
Excited,
feeling.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I'm stepping out as a business coach. And I think what I'm so excited about the most is, number one, I know that I can do this. I know God has given me experience and wisdom and training in this. And then also to know that it's going to grow me. And I'm just really excited. She mentioned setting up an opportunity to do a little bit of research in this area. And I already have calls and interviews with Christian business owners.
Oh.
I'm speaking to a woman who lives in England on Friday. And so I'm on fire. I'm so excited. No more confusion. Yeah, I'm really excited.
That's so good. That's so good. Let's put some fire in the chat. Thank you for sharing, Hillary. Joseph, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, I can talk. I wasn't here last week. I went surfing in Mexico with one of my sons and his friend.
Yes, I saw the pictures.
Right,
You posted
very
a few
good.
things about it, yes.
So that was a really good day. So we spent the day in Mexico. We surfed 3 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. Ate some street tacos. It was both of their first trip, so we had a great time. And then I've been surfing a couple other days with my sons this last week. It's been really bad all summer. So it's nice to get a few waves. And then I woke up really early this morning and I was listening to some Jim Rohn. So getting motivated from Jim Rohn this morning, and wrote down a bunch of goals for today and for next year. And so just kind of got fired up this morning. So really kind of stoked to get the ball rolling, kind of not be bogging and get moving faster.
Amen, that's good. Thank you for sharing. It's
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of snow this week, so my background is not where I'm sitting, but it's part of the vision where I'm gonna sit one day. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Coach Heaven will join us in a few minutes. In the meantime, does anybody have a question about Pepper maybe, or that I could answer?
I need to do that. So that's on my agenda today to switch over, because I was in one group and I quit because I wasn't getting any good people. So I've located some tree groups, and so I've got one picked out that I want to restart my pepper in. And so
Yes,
that's what I've got on my agenda for this afternoon.
that's
So
good. Okay.
I don't know that you have anything specific for right now, but I'll be probably talking to them, and I'll find the video that helps me best kind of redo what I'm doing. But that's what I got on the agenda today.
Amen. That's good. That's good.
I have a question about Pepper.
Yes.
I haven't started it yet.
No.
And I don't know if I should. I'm trying to get I'm back to the drawing board with my triangle, doing research and all of that. I'm in groups. I've
Yes.
gotten into groups. So I don't know if I should go ahead and have people coming in if I don't have a plan yet, like just go for it and start talking to people, or wait.
That's a very good question. I'm gonna let Coach Heaven answer that one. It's I would say no. Wait till you get to that stage in teaching, but I'm gonna let her answer that question when she comes in. Uh, um,
I have a question about
Laura.
pepper as well.
Yes, yes.
I have the canned responses, but we also teach about using boards, but wouldn't it be easier to use the canned responses if you have that?
Yes, the canvas, yes. We don't use them, so um I don't have experience with the canned responses.
Yeah, because I ended up paying for the full thing, so I have the canned responses,
Yes,
and
yes.
it's really simple to use. So
Okay. Yeah. No, we only use like the welcome messages, and the other part of Pepper we not using as such. It's just to get the leads and send the welcome messages.
Okay.
With a canned, I vaguely looked at it. Is it where you can? It's like a kind of a library where you can
Yeah, it's
have messages, or
yeah, you store all your messages in there, and then all you do
yeah.
just click the button, and it just sends it right into the message in the chat that you're in.
Okay, all right. I didn't know that. Thank you for asking. We haven't been using them. We find boards easily. Also, the one of the main advantages is like the canned messages, we would be limited to either a MacBook or a PC or a laptop. Whereas with boards, it's available on mobile as well. In boards, you can put in voice messages, you can put in video messages. It's got more possibilities.
That
It's
makes
one of the
sense.
reasons why yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
because we notice that voice messages have a higher response rate than just text.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Are you using voice messages as well, or have you tried, or?
I have boards, but I struggle with it going into it, so I'm still trying to figure that part out. I have to copy it and paste it usually, so I'm still trying to figure the boards out.
Okay. It makes me think maybe we do a teaching or a recording on boards, because we don't have one in the BTI, so that might be good. I'm writing this down. Okay. Yes. Whilst you were saying that, we used to have the Tech Thursdays on the Thursday morning at 10 a.m. We're changing it to appointments where you can book an appointment. There will be a few days a week with like a 20-minute time slot. I think it will be a better use of everybody's time, and then each person can get their questions answered directly. So we're gonna try that starting next week.
I think that'd be great. Yeah. I have a
Exactly.
question with what
Yes.
Lauren is saying. What boards, are you talking about Trello boards?
No, no. It's the app is called Boards.
Oh,
I can.
so we don't have it. I guess
Yeah,
we do want
there's
to
a
try.
free version. There's a free version, and the paid version for if you have Team is I think it's less than $100 per year. Uh,
Is there a link you can give us to get the free?
yes, I'll put it in here.
Thanks, Christian.
Put it in here. Let's put it in here quickly. Yes, I'll put it in the chat here. And it's very intuitive. It's because what also like what we used to do was like messages is we used to put them in Notepad or in a text document, and for every message in the past we used to copy paste messages. And with boards, you just you in your chat you go boards, you select the message you want, and it automatically puts it in your chat. And you can do videos, PDF files, voice recordings. So we love it, and we use it daily, and it's available on all devices. So, and you can share with team. So, for example, like you, Rosa, and Gary and Chris, you can put in the messages. They are in real time available for Gary and Chris or other people within the team.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
Yes,
I
and
think
it's
we
yeah,
really need that now. Perfect timing. Thank you.
yes, and it's intuitive. We have can put our share in there as well. We have a template, so I'll put that one in there as well. I'll copy the share. Put in a chat, it's a template of messages we use, and you can just modify them to your needs. And
Wonderful.
thank you for your question, Laura. I'm gonna unspotlight you.
I have a Pepper question.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm driving. First, I have to say I absolutely love this group. The Tuesday usually works better for my schedule, but sometimes I just gotta get in here. So,
Yes.
my question is, on Pepper, I have currently to only send outbound messages after the friend request. And so
Yes.
after she sends out all the 30 friend requests, and then
Yes.
she waits, I guess, 24 hours. The next day that I run Pepper,
Yes.
is she going to then go and send out the outbound messages to the people that have accepted?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I just
So
leave
it
them
will.
until they.
Yes. It
Okay.
what it does is it sends out all the friend requests, and when that is done, then it will go through all the friend requests that have been sent, verify has the friend request been accepted. If the answer is yes, it will send a welcome message.
Oh,
We've
so I
yeah.
kept her running after she sends out the 30. I just leave her running so she can scan.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I was stopping the campaign.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've asked Pepper as well to, because the quantity is limited to 30 now, and we've asked Pepper to allow the user to put in a different quantity. If you want to increase it to 50 or 60 or 70.
Okay.
The main reason they're limited to 30 is technically in a 24-hour window, Facebook will allow you to send 30 messages to non-friends. It will allow you, I don't know if, we haven't noticed a limit on friends to send messages to people that are friends. It's not that we've sent hundreds a day, but we've
Okay.
had, with the most we've done in the last 2-3 months is 129 in one day.
Oh,
Those are
wow.
friends. Those are
Okay.
friends. And then 30 non-friends.
Yeah, to the okay.
But we noticed once we reached 120, 125, Facebook is getting nervous. So we've capped it at 120 currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
good.
that is the situation as it is now. So,
Okay.
and Facebook changes their algorithms and their policies regularly. So we use it whilst it's going. But yes.
Okay.
Also with the non-friends, what happens is it will in your Facebook Messenger,
Mm-hmm.
there is a message request folder now.
Oh,
So
that's
I think
right.
it's yes. Besides notifications, it a lot of people don't look at it on a daily basis. So if you send messages to non-friends, a lot of them people will actually never see.
I see. That makes a lot of sense.
And
That's what's happening.
yes, and Facebook only allows you to send one message to a non-friend. You can't send a second message to the same non-friend. Then
That's super helpful. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you so much.
yeah, that's why we focus on sending to friends and sending friend requests. Then we
Perfect.
know once it's accepted, then we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, I would
Thank
say yeah, I would say less less than 8% of our messaging is non-friends. So a majority is friends.
Yeah, that definitely helps me
Okay.
change my
Yeah.
approach. Because yeah, missing some of those details, but I can see how that will make a big difference. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well. Do you have a winner or something to share with us as well, Nicole?
Yes. Okay. So I yesterday I was sharing that I'm so close to getting my $1 million daily like done. So I've started doing everything on the checklist, but it's not up to the numbers. And so I said I have to make this into some sort of game or something that I identify with. And yesterday's call helped so much. But so I was like, I wonder how many messages I can send out in an hour. And so at first, because I think a certain way, I was like, I'm going to send out 100. The first day I attempted this, I probably did 14. And I was like, that is a long way from 100, but I did 14. So then
Yeah.
I then said, and these are two friends. The next day it was like 16. And then I was like, hey, let me adjust here. It's still getting better, but something that I can grasp. And I was like, I wonder if I can send out a message a minute. And so I didn't do that today, but today I did 25. so,
Good.
so
That's
I got
awesome.
off today.
Yeah.
Like finally did my first 25. And that just really helped me zone in. It felt really authentic because I was messaging. These are a lot of people that I haven't connected with in a long time, like since 2009, 2004. So just scrolling quickly through their profile and then sending a message, like playing the long game, that just really helped. And it felt really authentic. And I was able to touch up on people that got lost in the lost with all the other messages. So yeah, it was really helpful. So if it helps anybody else, put a timer on it and you will focus. So yeah.
That's good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Okay. Just reading through the chat here. Nicole. Lauren, I read you're going on a holiday or?
I think that's Lori.
Sorry, Laurie. Sorry. Yes, Laurie. Right,
Yes.
Laurie.
I will be thinking of you all. It's Joseph got his chance to go away for a little bit, so now it's mine. But we've had some amazing wins over this last, right before Thanksgiving, and then the last
Yes.
days. And so, but this is the first time that I've gotten our team to a point that they are so amazing that I can actually forward my email to Nikki and let Nikki and Shelby and Stephanie, they're so precious and talented. I can go away. And if there's big messages, I'll take care of those. But being able to do that, I
That's
haven't
good.
done that in years. I usually work while I'm gone. And so my husband's thrilled. And so we'll be in Florida. We're going to Disney and celebrating my littlest grandson. So we have to balance those
Yes.
family, and it's why we're all in this. We need to get to that point of pushing through some of the obstacles so that we can actually learn to let go a little bit. That was big for me.
That's
So,
awesome.
so
Yes.
thank you for helping me grow my team to that point too. So, but
Okay.
we have major agreements that went out yesterday and another one last night, and we're working on that right now. But um, yeah, my head was spinning at 9 p.m. last
That's good.
night when we finished with a client, and she's doing 3 major projects with us next year.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah,
That's a big win.
yeah, very, very
That's a
big.
big
So,
win.
thank you. Thank
Congratulations.
you, guys. All of
That's,
it
yeah.
is everybody's support and being able to learn a good process and heaven just helping us and being there in our lives. So, and you too, Christian. So thank you for all of that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. And congratulations again on the big win. We were gonna have a new person joining, but I don't see her in the call, so okay, maybe she'll come in later. Let's see. Yes, another thing I would like to mention is when we share on Facebook, so when we go live in the BTI group Facebook, what we create the event in Facebook to be able to go live. And what happens is Facebook will create a chat on the side, on the left hand side in the Facebook group. And there's no intention to join those chats. It's just Facebook creates them because somebody asked if it was necessary to join the chats, and it was an excellent question because it never occurred to me that intuitively people would join chats. I think if I join a group and I saw a lot of chats on the side, I would also probably join those, or one at least look at the chat and try and join them. But it's Facebook, when you create the event, Facebook automatically creates a chat, so there's no need. You'll see that every week there are two, one for the Tuesday and one for the Wednesday. There's no need to join any of those chats. It's we don't create them. Facebook creates them.
That's a nuisance
Yes.
because I've been getting so many chats from so many different people that I don't even know.
Yes.
I find that I don't know why they're doing that. It's just making more work for us.
Yes. But we had a question: do we need to join those chats? Thought I just mentioned it.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you go live on your in your Facebook group, you probably will have the same, but Facebook creates chats on the side. So yes.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
We need you, Christian. So many little tidbits of
Right.
information you share with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna spotlight you. I'm gonna remove the spotlight from you, Lori. There we go.
Hi, Christian. I had a
Okay.
question.
Yes.
Is there a teaching on how to go live on Facebook from Zoom?
Yes. I looked in the guide 34. There was a teaching, but I had a look at it earlier this week, and I think it's outdated. So I will make a new one.
Okay, great.
I will make
Thank
a new
you.
one this week, and
Awesome. Thank you.
yeah. But it's simple once you know what to do. If you don't know what to do, it's um
Hey guys, give me one sec here. Was that helpful or what?
Yes.
Guys, excited to have that kind of support. It's definitely necessary. Give me one sec, guys. Can you just turn off this light behind me, please? Okay, so some great things happening this morning. I want to cue you guys for some Coach Heaven only questions. All right, so it was who was to go first? Hillary, did you have a question?
I did. You know where I am in my process. So I was curious if I'll rip off the Band-Aid or build the airplane in the air. So should I go ahead and run Pepper now before I'm clear on my plan, or should I wait until I have more clarity around that?
Yeah, really good question. So there are a few things that we want to have in place before you are getting Pepper running. But I would say in general, people wait too long on everything, right? They wait till they have the PDF, they have the system, they've memorized the script, right? It's always best to make the offer, sell it, then create it. Right? You guys, I really want you to hear this because most of you, this be, do, have process means that you really need to step into the doing because it isn't until you start doing that you see where your gaps are. Right? If we just keep it in that being all the time, and I'm getting to you, Hillary, but it's if we keep it in that, I'll reflect and I'll think about my brother. You're having this whole world going on in a bubble, and it's just not reality. Instead of having to go through the challenge of having people with you. So I'm going to share my screen. What I'm thinking around for you, Hillary, is I think what I'm hearing from you is what's the minimum amount that I have to have in place so that I can get this going, so that I can find the people, right? Because again, you want to collapse the time frame. I want everyone here to catch this. Part of the reason is you've been so indoctrinated by the hypnotic system of government and schools and banks that tell you, you have this life where you start here and, you have to have this steady, calm path in life and really hard and so hard and slow. So part of that actually affects you when you're starting to implement, right? If you're like, okay, from now till the middle of January, I am closing 10 sales at 5K each or 10 sales at 50K each. It doesn't matter. It matters that you made a decision, right? And then you're going to want to reverse engineer that, Hillary, and you can be unmuted because it's you and I right now, right? Is like you want to reverse engineer and go, what do I need to have in place? So if I'm hearing you right, you're asking me a better question. Does that sound right? What's the
Yes.
minimum
Minimum.
viable, right? Minimum viable solutions, answers for my person to run Pepper. So you want to be really clear, right? Again, we chatted a little bit about this yesterday, but right on your market and on your message. We want to be
Yes.
really clear on your who and what you teach, right? So you might have a big who and you could have a small what of what you're teaching, or you have a big what and you have a small who, right? So those are some of the variables. So I would say you at the minimum you want to be somewhat clear. And to be honest, if you already know who and where they hang out in Facebook groups, then let's get this show on the road.
Okay.
Right? Again, let's just say you don't have everything figured out in your model, but let's say you're like, okay, I know I'm working with entrepreneurs, I'm working with people that are in that space, they're looking for some help, they want some transitions out of corporate, or they want, like, just make your list of the knowns, right? So do that today. There's a bunch of knowns of what you do know, and there's going to be some things that you don't know. So when you're starting to think about, okay, for my model, I'm pretty clear and I've got like this figured out, and I've got this, and maybe you've got this, and maybe this, but there's like a few things that you're like, I'm going to be doing calls, going to figure it out. But I think that this is enough information for you to run Pepper. I want everyone to see, and I want everybody to feel this today. When we rationalize, which is rational lies, when we allow rational lies to come in to go, well, I don't really know. Well, it's because it aligns with who we think we are. You cannot do more than who you think you are. Right? Get into that. You cannot do more than who you think you are. And you're not going to have more than you're willing to do. Even if that do involves other people and outsourcing and having other people help you, you're just not going to be able to get there. So ask yourself, everyone here, as you're listening to me talk to Hillary, ask yourself, like, what is your next right thing that you're thinking, well, I really need to have? Because when we go to school, right, the misindoctrination system that you all were part of, when you were in the misindoctrination system, aka public school system, maybe you went to Christian school and you were blessed. I didn't. Maybe you were homeschooled. I wasn't. But if you're in this misindoctrination system, you got all this bad wiring. You have wiring that says it takes a freaking long time to create wealth, right? It takes a long time. You must save your pennies, Hillary. Hillary, save your pennies. Every month, I know you can't make it on your pittance, but put away 40 cents every month for 2 million years. And maybe you'll be able to buy a bike, right? This is the system that we all signed up for and our parents signed up for. But guys, I barely started my prophetic word yesterday because I was like, I've just got to start talking. There is a grace in 2025 to collapse time frames and for you to step into a quantum leap. It's the first window I believe we will ever have seen in history in this way. Because we can connect with everybody globally. We've all been through the pandemic as a fear. We went through that fear cycle. Some of us made decisions where we're like, I'm not in the matrix. I'm outside of this. I'm going to change my life, right? So there's things that you've learned. Those who have learned, you're about to earn. That's part of my prophetic word. I will be sharing it beginning of January when we have our prophetic soaking together. Are you guys excited? I know I am. But this long-term belief system is actually what hijacks your brain. I know Hillary asked a simple question, guys. If I answer you a simple answer, I'm not really doing you justice. I'm not really helping you. If I just answer Hillary going, yes, wait a month for pepper. No, don't wait. Jump off the cliff, build your wings on the way down. Grab okay, man, I got like 5 things, 6 things I know for sure about my person. Let's load her up because I'm anticipating to meet my people. And have that, honestly, Hillary, can I just tell everybody here, if you all would stop focusing on the checklist and what your mindset says about the 40 years it takes for you to pay off your house and all these other mindsets and the checklists are killing you. And you would just throw it to the ground and make a decision right now. What does decision mean? It means
cut off.
Right. Cut yourself off from all other outcomes. So the first thing that has to die, Hillary, for you and anyone else who still has a job, you have to go, thank you so much. Do a little beautiful declaration to your job. We so appreciate you. You're dead. Now we're only going to have the outcome that are favorable to me. What's your outcome that's favorable to you, Hillary?
5 clients before January.
Okay, right. So 5, meaning and maybe do you want more? Like let's be real, guys. Like again, we go back to, well, what's possible? What's reality? There's no reality. You're creating the reality. You're creating your rational lies. You get to have that decision. So taking a look and go, okay, so if you're saying 5, what would you really like to bring in cash wise?
I mean, I want abundance in my life. I want more than getting by. So I would say, I mean, $25,000 in a month, that just seems unreal to me, but I believe it's in my heart for a reason.
And I get you. I get you. I remember years ago, like just being in the online space, like in 2019 and hearing people, because like I would speak at events worldwide. I ran retreats in other places in the country. I was like, I won Toastmasters 19 weeks in a row. Wasn't like I was, lived in a box. But then the people were saying, I made $17,000 this month. I was like, you can do that? Like, right. So this is why I talk out loud to you. Because if I don't tell you these things, you don't have an atmosphere for the fear to disappear in.
Mm.
You have to have an atmosphere where fear is crushed. And fear is crushed when you have somebody who's gone ahead and done it. Right? I mean,
Yes.
when I hit my first 100K month, I went, wow, I no longer have to live in the matrix. I see everything different. Everything. I mean, I had an appointment this morning with a dentist. Never met her, don't know her. I mean, other than her helping my kids, she's never seen me. And I could just tell she was my person, like of just like connection right away. And like within a half an hour, I was like, I want you to come to my Christmas party. Because I can just tell. I'm just going to collapse time frames. Why would I wait? Why do we do these things? If we know they're right. Now there's times and seasons you guys know that maybe you need to wait, but Hillary, you don't need to wait. So run pepper. Guys, you want to have problems as soon as possible.
That's good.
Write down problems are opportunities for success. Why do you think the wealthy are paid well? The wealthy are paid because they're willing to engage in higher level problem solving. Pick the most expensive problem that you know how to solve. Pick it right now, Hillary. What's the biggest problem you can think of that somebody will pay for?
Breaking through a threshold in finances.
Yeah. And combining it with, right? So increase in finances, and they're a Christian, right? And they want to probably make a switch, right? Like they don't want to have more of the same, right? 4 levels of value. First level, right, is the implementation where you're using your body. You may be working at a grocery store, or you are lifting boxes, or it doesn't matter, coffee shop. There's a trade, right, for your time for money.
Mm-hmm.
Implementation, it's the lowest level of value. You cannot make more, right? So if you work right now 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours, even 80 hours, we can't even go beyond that. Everyone agrees with me? So we're
Mm-hmm.
at a ceiling income-wise here. The next level is management. Some kind, maybe, at the lower level, you might be a manager of a coffee shop making 40,000 a year. If you're a manager at a higher level wealth firm, it might be 250,000, but there's still a ceiling. Because Hillary, when you are working for somebody and you want to take off time, are they really caring? Do they want to give you time to be with your child who's got a runny nose that you think, well, I'm the mama, I want to be with them? Or your ailing relative?
No, they don't care.
They own you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is the next level of value. The next one is communication. So this is where things get really interesting. This is where things change. In communication, it's the next higher level of value. So people that are speakers, authors, people that communicate well. And guys, the reason why I want you to get into the valley of suck as fast as possible is that's only where you're actually going to change. Like we think, and I'll say we because I'll come back to this. I know Rosa's going to write it all out. But we think in this process that we start here and that we're going to arrive somehow over here. So right here, we're at 0. Right here, we're at 15K months. This is just one example. But you have to go through a process. And it's in this level here where you're in the valley of suck, where you have to get rid of your old programming. Rosa, I think you're a little bit older than I am. Do you remember when there was like, you'd have to like totally like it would be like an event to have new software put in for your computer, and there was floppy disks and
Yes.
right? Anybody
Yes.
else on here? Lori remembers, right? Hillary's like, okay. Right? So that was like the whole operating system had to be rewired. Don't think for 1 second that this mindset, when you're in implementation or even in management, or even as you went to communication, because I would say I was probably a little bit in this level, right? I didn't go from working from a coffee shop. Like I ran a law practice. I was a business consultant for years. I was a speaker. I ran retreats, right? So I'd had some of that, but you truly are not having an opportunity to become the person that you need to do the thing you're called to do, to have the things that you want to have till you go through the valley of suck. Because this is why the 97%, they try to keep everything the same, because they don't want anybody to expose that they're really terrible at communicating or they have no idea how to close a sale. So instead of learning how to close a sale, what do they say? Sales are evil. Are you guys with me? They have to what? Rational lies. There has to be some form of rational lies to keep their mindset going. But if you jump off the cliff on the little bit of information you start connecting with your people, you follow my process and you listen to, and you're changing and you're figuring out your verbiage and the vernacular of your person, and you're going through this whole process, you are starting to become the person who can do the thing and will have what you want. But it's only going through the process, Hillary. Everyone else, put what you're loving in the chat. Start typing it up, because I think that this isn't shared enough. You've got to be willing to go through these problems to become. The highest level of value is imagination. And so my whole process of teaching you to get to 15K months is to break you out of your time for money model. If I break you out of the time for money model and I teach you to become the kind of person, now you can have a product. So Hillary, once you have your group and it's I'm just going to pretend 5K, everybody just write in what you want. And you've created that and you have your creativity, right? You created it, you have your creativity. And then say you have 10 more people join. Do you have to create more to have 10 more people join?
No.
No. So we are not in the first level of value, are we? And do you still have your creativity after you created that, or is all your creativity gone?
No, I know my creativity won't stop.
Right. So now you've created something where you're using your communication skills and you're using your imagination. And your
I'm
imagination
sorry,
doesn't run
Coach.
out. Go ahead,
I
Rosa.
didn't hear what I stood for. What is I for?
Imagination.
Aha, thank you.
Okay. So imagination, again, when I talk to you guys about going from zone of incompetence to your zone of competence, to your zone of excellence, to your zone of genius. This is what's happening here. Is for some of you, you had like you had a job and it paid the bills. It could have been here, it could have been here, and it could be here, right? You can be a dentist or an accountant and be making fairly good money, but it's not your zone of genius. So this process, Hillary, as fast as you can do it and be honest with you, right? Instead of buying the lies, the rationalize, we even rationalize so that we can hide or dumb ourselves down, so that we can, go along with others, so that we can be accepted, so that we can have friends. So that has to die. When you're accepting who you really are and you're putting a price on it. So you really get to choose. All of you get to choose here. Every single one of you gets to choose what that's going to look like. But we have implementation, we have management, you have communication, and you have imagination. These are the 4 levels of value. The goal is to get you to the 15K months, have 20K months, 30K months, have some recurring revenue so that you are now able to be in your zone of genius and to create more content because you're now hiring somebody who can do some of these low value tasks. So decide. What I recommend around pricing is what can you say out loud without choking on your own words as to this is how much it is.
That goes back to self-belief a little bit, or value, self-worth.
Yeah. I mean, because you're creating value, right? All wealth is creating value for others. Right? This is why we can't have a redistribution of wealth, because wealth is something that's created. Right? So you're in that process of creation, but start where you go, I'm going to be valued well. I've got lots of experience. Like you do.
Yes.
Have you watched my teaching on the cost of not working with me?
Yes. And I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about if I really have, I need to take the opportunity to build a habit every day of getting back in touch with my value. Because when I do take the time to think about that, I know I was created and have already helped people move forward in a way that you could not even really put a price on.
Yes. So create a list of that, and everyone here, because as you're creating on the outside, okay, as you're going up the ladder, as you're creating on the outside, the inside, so this is the stuff on the inside, but you're making it on the outside. You're going through the process. And so you have to keep that in front of you. Keep it. And the best way to keep it in front of you, everyone, write it down. Go sell something. If you stay in a place of continually doing sales, now I don't mean if you're a founder and now you've trained somebody and they can do the sales that you're to take it back. That's not what I'm meaning. I'm meaning, encourage then your sales team. But if you are in that process, increase your price. If you already have lots of people, they want to have time with you, increase your price.
Coach, sorry.
Go ahead, Rosa. Yeah.
What is that last thing? LVT? I didn't get
sorry.
that.
Low value tasks.
Low value tasks. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. So again, anything that is below your zone of genius. Yesterday I was sharing a little bit about the female founder replacement ladder for your time. But your first hire is going to be the least expensive to hire. And it's usually also the thing that is your bottleneck, other than yourself and your business, but it's usually the thing that is the bottleneck. What is the thing? And so for women, it tends to be, as much as it is administrative, I recommend that women outsource the house, cleaning, going to get groceries. Like I don't go get my own gas. I don't get my Porsche cleaned. I don't, like, as much as possible. I mean, if I have to, I'll do it. I don't, as much as possible, I don't do the groceries. I would rather, because I have a chef background, I like to cook with Max or cook with Bella. So I'll have somebody else do all the prep. Right? Like my house manager's here whispering kindly in the background, getting things organized. But your first hire is whatever is the thing that's taking you away of growing and scaling your business. For men, it's usually admin because they have a wife. Okay, so it's house usually for women, and it's admin usually for men is the first hire. Second hire is admin or some kind of VA. The reason why I say it's second for women is that you're already at your desk. It's easier to just send a Zoom link yourself than to get up and go to the kitchen and wash the dishes. Right? Or like every woman's, terrifying experience during the day of what's for dinner. I'd rather just poke myself with a fork. Like, just give me a fork. I'll poke myself with it over and over again before I like people asking me what's for dinner. But I have my kids now on the weekends, and this is something I'm teaching at the next level, Hillary. Once you're scaling, I teach this in the next level. But how to have a playbook for your house manager, what the order is of those things. I have about a replacement ladder for your children. So your kids, whoever's the youngest, will do the youngest jobs. Ones who have higher skill, like Bella, who's 13, she does one meal a week. She also organizes the whole meal plan on a whiteboard in the kitchen, and she'll have like exactly what the meal plan is for the week at 13. And your 13-year-old or even a 10 or 12-year-old can do all the list of the inventory of everything in your cupboards. And you can put that into ChatGPT and it will spit out a menu for you. And everybody's here going, she just asked about pepper. But it's never just about one thing, guys. I want you to see that in coaching. Does this help, Hillary?
So much. I will be running pepper tonight.
Amen. Just get it going, get the party started, right? Facebook group for you, Hillary? How many people do you have in it now?
Okay, so that's it. That was in the back of my head. I haven't started those groups. I mean, I have tons of different Facebook groups, but that was a question. Should I start afresh? And how crazy do I need to be about what the name is? Oh,
Yeah, and just don't let it be a thing. Okay. When I started, my name was so stupid and whatever. You can change it after 30 days.
okay, good.
Like, again, you want to know why it feels so weird? Is that the 97% is terrified of anybody knowing what's really going on in their lives. The 3% will go, oh my God, I just got fired. I lost the keys to my jet. My Porsche is like in the parking lot because of blah, blah, blah. I bought these extra, they'll tell you everything because they're not trying to keep their image. They're trying to become. The 97% want to keep their image. And you guys, if you're like that, I mean, part of the value of suck is you have to let your ego die. If your ego doesn't die, you're not going to be able to do this work well. Because the ego wants to protect you. The ego wants you to be like, no, just like pretend everything's really great. Say, wait till you have the perfect Facebook group name. Let's just wait. Let's wait. That's what your ego wants. Because your ego is terrified that you're going to get a glimpse of who you are. And then you're going to charge properly and you're going to get paid well. And then you're going to show up with authority in every room you walk in. Don't worry, it gets easier in that regard. Once your ego dies, it gets easier. I have somebody that I know in the space. The process of her ego dying, you want to hear it, Hillary? This is kind of funny. Is she was live and she was a therapist. So Lori's going to love this too. She was a therapist. She's like leading all these groups internationally. But she's still struggling like with her ego and stuff like that. And she's like exhausted. And she can notice like somebody in the group that we're communicating. She's like, oh my goodness, I think they're having an affair. She's like, this cannot be happening. I'm going to have to do something. So she was in Australia. So she turned off she thought she turned off all her devices. And she let out the biggest fart in the world. She's still live, but it gets better. She stands up and she's wearing like really, really short, like kind of the short shorts you wear to bed when you're only with your husband at a hotel, not that you wear with your family. She's wearing those. So she's farted. She's wearing satin lace shorts and she's a therapist. And then she continues to talk to herself. I can't believe that those two are having an affair. And she's saying all this. And then she gets a call on her cell phone and she's like, oh, and she picks it up. She's like, somebody says, you are still live on all platforms. And we just heard everything. For her, Hillary, that was her like ego is gone. She's like, you know what? Okay, I have just had the most embarrassing thing, you know, because all of us as kids, you know, our worst nightmare when we were kids is we go to school, you know, or whatever, no clothes on. We have these dreams at night, right? So she's done the worst thing. So the sooner you can have your ego go, the better it will be. So how you do that? Implement quickly. Fail fast. Do your learning curve fast. Don't wait. Because when you wait, you're actually just waiting, you're prolonging the pain because the longer you just don't implement it, you're like beating yourself going, oh, I could be earning, I could be, just fail fast, right? Get better at it. But the 97%, they don't want to find out that they suck at writing. The 97% don't want to go, oh my, you know, look at themselves on camera. They're not willing to get over that. The 97% are not willing to do the things to create the wealth that the 3% are willing to do. And if you don't believe that there's a difference, that's the place you have to start, all of you that are listening. Because it's a total shift in mindset. That good, Hillary? Got some good
Very good.
takeaways?
I've
All
got
right.
action to do.
Amen. And report. Like, so report to everybody in the group in BTI. Be like, this is what Coach Heaven suggested. This is where I'm at. Start doing the chats as soon as possible. I think that the people who are the most successful, they follow the $1 Million Daily. Like they do it to a T. You add 50, you're adding 40 to your group a day. If you're needing help with some Facebook group names, Hillary, and everybody else, if you who hasn't done this, you know, post in the group, say, I've got 1, 2, and 3 are my options. Please, I want some feedback. Everybody here, please give feedback. I find that the higher income levels of people, they're actually better at giving more feedback. Isn't that interesting? People that make less money and have more time give less. Like I know a few friends, females, that I run with in this space. And, you know, a couple of them make $1 million a month, a couple of them 300,000 a month, maybe 200,000 a month. If I message them and I'm like, I'm stuck or I need help or I need this, they get back to me. Or if I share a bunch of stuff, they'll give me a whole bunch of ideas. So always take the time, and everybody here, and respond to people. So follow the $1 Million Daily, Hillary. Implement fast, do your Facebook group, get some feedbacks on your names. You can change it. But a good idea for Facebook groups is you want to have 2 descriptive words and 1 noun. So 2 adjectives and 1 noun that's, you know, I don't follow that, but I guess I have 1. Right. So think about the things that might be, come up with some of those, implement it quickly. You can change it later. Right. But again, you want it to look somewhat professional. You don't want it to be super hokey. Right. You don't want to look like a grade 7, although my grade 8 does pretty good artwork, but a grade 7 did it. Right. You want it to look somewhat professional. So implement that, do that quickly. I can't wait to hear all the good things that you're going to receive because you're willing to fail fast. Amen?
Amen. Thank you.
Super proud of you. You bet. Okay, who's ready or who has a question? Rosa, did you have a question? Is Gary
I
here?
do.
I can't see everybody. You do, Rosa? Come on in.
Thank you.
Hello.
Gary might step in any minute, so it'd be great. But what we discussed last night, we had a great meeting. And the most immediate thing that we need to get corrected are these audio messages that we want to start sending in Pepper.
Okay.
And it's 2 groups. One is the group that kind of stopped communicating. And on their own, and another group where even after, and that's a smaller group, but if we sent them a PDF or a lead magnet video, they haven't gotten back to us. So
Okay,
those
so
two groups.
share with me once they've said yes that they want the thing, then you send the thing, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Then what happens after that? What do you do after that?
Um,
Once you send something, tell me about your process of what you do next, not what they do next.
well, then I wait to see if they acknowledge receipt of it.
Okay, that's your problem right there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so as soon as you send the thing, you don't wait. Everybody here, stop waiting, start pursuing. Bible says ask, seek, knock. It doesn't say drop it on the porch and walk away. Okay? Ask, seek, and knock. So they say, you say, hey, you want my special spectacular lead magnet that Rosa made that is brilliant? They say, yes. Then you give them the thing after you have the email. Okay. So you got the email, the thing is housed in the Facebook group. Now you go right into asking another question, Rosa.
Ah,
Okay. So
okay.
as soon as then I would ask a question that, again, you want to have the deeper questions later, but you do want to have some qualifying questions early as possible so you're not chatting with the wrong person. Right? So what are your three questions that you already have that you know you want to ask somebody?
Well, one of them is like, what's um what's one word you would use to describe your team? I can't remember the exact wording, but that's kind of one, and we get a lot of
Okay, so
responses
just
on
one
that.
second here, because one of the problems, if I remember correctly, is that you're getting people that don't have the right number of team.
Yes.
So my next question would be, would you consider yourself a whatever kind of entrepreneur you call that, whatever kind of company? Would you consider yourself a company owner, CEO, whatever way you direct them, with a team of more or less than, and then whatever the number is that's important to you? Does that help?
Yes.
Because now you're bumping up the qualification earlier in your chat process.
Yes.
How is that going to make things better for you?
Well, it'll get us clearer faster instead of sending
Mhm.
3 more messages and speaking around it, wasting 3-4 days. We will get an answer faster. So then
Yes. Now, everyone, you want to make sure you have enough rapport. Remember what I said yesterday? Relationship is the bridge you can drive the truck of truth over. And I'm going to say this, Rosa, because some people, like I had a client who worked with men who are addicted to pornography. I've had somebody who like helps with like the quality of sex in a marriage. And so some of the questions are delicate. So if you have a niche that's delicate questions, you want to really put an emphasis on rapport, right? They're not going to give you their financial statements. They're not going to give you even their team number if they don't feel like up here in your welcome and in your intro and in all these pieces here, if they don't feel like there's enough warmth, they're not going to hand over their information to you. Because I want to separate that from the weirdos. Okay, there are weirdos out there that you can bake them cakes, you can send them free Sephora gift cards, and they're just never going to be. They're just going to be like, I'm so offended. Why did you ask? There are people out there, you can't control them, Rosa, but you can
right.
have a flow that works well. So if you have enough rapport, I would go into the one thing that seems to be the biggest issue, that you don't have people that are qualified properly. This will make sure that you're getting the people who have the right number of team.
Right. So sometimes when we ask them this question, because I have gotten there, sometimes it depends on how the conversation went. And then they'd say, so what do you do right after that? Because
Yes, well, then
now they've
that
shared their team
means
size with me, so they want to know why I'm asking that.
that means you haven't been clear enough in your intro up here.
Mm-hmm.
What does your I help statement say?
Again, I don't have it at the top of my head because I'm working, but it is about we help business owners with teams to live out their vision on a to live more purposefully and doing kingdom work within their business or something like that.
Right. Just make sure it's super to the point. And
Yeah.
in that I help statement, make sure that you have, we help whatever kind of companies, and then put with 10 or more team or 4 or more team or 2 or more, whatever that deciding factor is, have it in your I help statement.
That's what's missing. That's what's missing because we have it very generic. So of course we're getting everybody. So
well, and it's not
have
just
them.
that. It's you don't want to have a word salad. And have ever had somebody give you a word salad
Yeah.
before? So make sure it's not a word salad where you have no idea what they do after they say it.
Okay.
Right? Make sure that it kind of talks to pain points. Right? You want it to be around the pain point. Like I say, like I help kingdom entrepreneurs scale to 1 million without compromising their walk with God, without, complicated funnels, and from a place of rest. I'm hitting the biggest points because Christian people think that they're going to become secular. They're not going to have any time with their family, and that it's going to be super complicated. And so right away, I hit those things. So how can you say we help blah, 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 blah with this size of team to achieve X without Y?
Yeah, I think we need some more work on our we help statement. Because sometimes when here's one of them that says, I'm looking for 3 to 5 business leaders who want to move from uncertainty, lag in sales, and low employee engagement. And I feel like that does not apply to, I don't know, people are willing to acknowledge that in the very first statement. So we say with that too, clarity and confidence with a divinely inspired vision, mission, and plan.
It just is too word salady. Like you've got to get a little bit more guttural, right? Like they are so frustrated of what? Right? Like be really like, what are the thing? Their sales are down. They've got turnover in their teams. Like it's got to be a little bit more guttural because it sounds a little bit too neutral and no one buys neutral.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make some notes right here.
Like go right into pain points with them. What are the biggest things that they are like right now? Because guys, if you don't hit that on the head, why would they pay any money to hire you?
I feel like when
have that feeling.
When we put the word uncertainty in there, I don't think that actually gets anybody anymore because it's something we live with more and more since the pandemic. So
plus, Rosa, if you guys and everyone listening, if you're helping somebody who says, well, it's, I've got this problem with my teenager or my whatever, like it's a bit of a blame game. If somebody if you're trying to help them with uncertainty, they are people who are full of excuses. Because you can only help your people with determining factors, not contributing factors, right? Everyone here on the call, what are your determining factors and what are your contributing factors, right? Uncertain times might be another pandemic. Are we wearing masks? Blah, 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 blah. Is the dollar going to bomb? Those are all contributing factors. They are not part of a circle of influence. If you're working with people to try to help them with that, you're going to work with people who have bought this as an excuse why they can't do something. And they are the worst clients. in the world because they don't take ownership. Determining factors are things that are in your circle of control. Here's you. Here's your circle of control. What can they do? They can have a better hiring strategy. They can slow the hiring process down and interview people well. They can have a better system for leads. They can have higher prices and margins. These are all things that they can control. Get Gary to list all the things that that leader can control, because you want to help the leader with things he can control, not a leader who has created a world where he makes excuses for the things that aren't happening because he can't control them. And you don't want to build a model on helping somebody fix things they can't fix.
Okay, so I understand a little bit better now from yesterday's conversation
Okay.
about determining factors and contributing. That's very helpful. So are you saying then that we still want to make sure we put 1 or 2 pain points, and then what we're taking them to, what is it that what's the other side of the bridge?
And to be specific, right? Like I think if Gary is working with people who have 3 to 10 million in sales and are, 5 to 10 employees, I'm just saying, right? Be that specific, and then be specific right on the razor edge, right? Like if you had a rash and it was itching you like crazy, and somebody messaged you in the chat and said, hi, I'm this person who, and I have like this cream for like this rare elbow itch. And you're the person with the rare elbow itch. You're like, tell me more. So you want to be that, like that much that they're like, oh my goodness, I'm a company leader with that many people, and I'm going through that kind of pain point. And then they want to know more.
So that will allow them to disqualify themselves very quickly. And instead of
Very quickly.
yeah, and then
But
having 97 to reply to, we'll have maybe 27.
But here, guys, stop leaving money on the table. Okay. So for example, right, like right now for you, Rosa, if you have, like you're saying, this other option, or you know that you love me and you want people to join BTI who aren't a good fit for that, or scale to influence, that if
Right.
somebody's like, I'm making this, or I'm like between, I'm like close to 1 million, or I'm doing a couple million, but I've got to restructure, you like, hey, they might be a good fit for Coach Heaven. Or if you have something that's intro, like you said, your 2K program, you could then have a bit of your own process in Sell by Chat, where first you're telling them you do this bigger thing. And then when they say, well, actually, I have no team and I'm stuck at 30K, or I have no team and I'm right. So you can start to then go, okay, well, how can we make money from the chats we're doing right now? There is
Beautiful.
no such thing as a
Okay.
lack of resources. Everyone write that down. There is no such thing as a lack of resources, only a lack of resourcefulness. Right? And I'm not offending you guys. I'm saving your freaking life so you don't have to work for somebody ever again. Right? As soon as you become resourceful, right? You have to have that resources, right? It's like when I saw Michael Jr. and I met him at an event, and I was like, hold up 1 second. I have total confidence. Like everybody else is like, oh my God, it's Michael Jr. I'm like, hey, dude, you want to sit with me for lunch? He's like, sure. Because I have confidence. I'm not afraid. I can sit with him and I can talk to him about his business and his business model, because I totally believe I'm a solution for people that I meet, for the right person. What are you missing, Rosa? What are you missing, Hillary? What are you missing, Lori, when you're in the chats that you're not seeing that you may be able to help someone with? Because Rosa, I know if you have a 2K program and I can help with getting to 1 million, and Gary is now the 3 to 10 million company, you got all your bases covered, girl. You should be making money every day. You got somewhere to put somebody every day.
I think we've been micromanaging our time too much. And I think that's what it is we're wearing blinders and we're stopping ourselves from seeing what's available. So I just saw that really clearly. I'm going to be chatting with a lot more people. I'm going to get this elevator pitch changed. I'll work on it, and then Gary and I will drill down again. And my whole approach is going to change.
Well, and here's the thing, you don't change your whole approach because you are amazing at connecting with humans, amazing at like just having conversations, right? You're fantastic. What it is now, you go, wait a second, we have 3 solutions. I have A product, B product, C product. When I'm doing the chat, I'm going to see which one they are, which one's which. And I'm going to book triages for which, or if it's a Coach Heaven thing, I'm going to start a chat with her. If it's me, I'm going to, because I can teach you how to do sell by chat and just sell your product right in chat. You don't have to have any calls. Your 2K, you can sell in chat without having any call and have a link, have them pay, have them on board. Guys, I know I'm blowing your mind. I get it. I absolutely get it. Receive it today. Allow your mind to expand. I know people who close 100 grand of an offer without even doing calls with people. And they pay and they join and they do the work. So it's a mindset. So here, Rosa, you have 3 options. So so then see it as we have sell by chat for this. We have we start with this and then it goes here if it's not, or it's Gary's thing that we go to the triage and the close. Or is you're going, okay, this would look like Coach Heaven, maybe they could help with that. And then you and I partner up with that, right? And you get affiliate fee. Or if it's like, no, this is like right away, they're not for either, but they could do this, 8-week thing. And I'm going to sell it right in chat. I'm going to send a link. I'm going to have an opt-in page where they pay.
Lovely. I love it. It's
and then this way you could be making money every day. When you have your vision that you read out loud every single day, what do you have in there? Do you have like, and I make, and I receive? All of you guys that are listening, can everybody put their visions in the BTI? So we have one that we read aloud every day about, and it starts with us being like on the seaside and we're picturing ourselves older and we see what we have. I look at all the books that I've written in my bookshelf. Like, get granular, guys. Get really detailed about everything that you want to see and you want to have. How much money? So, Rosa, if you're saying, and I make, every single day I bring in $10,000. Are you seeing? Right? Because, guys, remember we went back here to what our brain and the rational lies and our mindset and how we think. We cannot do more than who we think we are.
That was powerful. Yes.
And you're called to this, Rosa. So I want a statement from you of like an upgraded I am statement. Because again, I think you do have I see you as like also a part philosopher of this generation. I feel like you're going to have a lot of like philosophy and writing later on in your life. And you're going to really reflect and be somebody that people go to that reread some of the things that you've written that are just so wise and powerful. Right now, write those things out and write out about that income and be really clear. Because your brain doesn't know the difference, but the more you say it, and the more you say it, the more you say it, and the more you say it, you'll all of a sudden find yourself, you are it.
So we're going to have a group vision statement for the 3 of us, as well as my personal daily statement, right?
Yes. But you want them to somewhat align, right? Or else your brain is trying to figure out how it aligns.
Yeah. Sorry, Coach. Sometimes I lose the last word because you
That's
do
okay.
know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But just to, yes, have them, right? Have, of course, you're going to have as a team, and then you'll have yours as well.
Okay.
But you want to make sure that it's big enough of a crossover. Otherwise, your brain will reject it.
Yes. Yes. And I think that's what's been happening. Sometimes it gets confusing when you're trying to fit into somebody else's vision, and that takes time to synergize. to bring it together. So I believe we need to have more conversations around that so that we could be more in
Absolutely,
congruency.
absolutely. And to be really clear, right? Because one person will have, want to see be in this way, and you're really clear on how much you want to be doing this way,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you have your $2,000 thing that's being sold by chat, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do one of those a day every day for a month. Well, that's 60,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Lori.
I just had a huge aha. Can I offer it really fast?
Of course.
Um, it's very similar to if you think about what Coach Sheila is doing. If she had come into our messenger and said, I have this $100,000 program that I believe you can strive to. And you don't know me, but I really see this in you. And I want to help you to get to blah, blah, blah. We probably would have said, thank you, but I'm not interested. But
100%.
because we stepped up a little into this program so that now we're feeling it. We're literally feeding on it and we're seeing the result of it. We want to go higher. And so, Rosa, your offer should feed right into the next level of, say, Chris, and then Chris feeds into Gary, or however that works, or having those, like we have an ABC funnel. So we're selling at all three levels, but we also are selling and supporting and serving at A. So they already feel it. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? My brain is like going like, so I apologize if
Yeah,
it wasn't all well thought out there.
don't
No.
apologize. No, that's brilliant.
So thank you for that. That's like huge, and Rosa, your program is going to fill fast so that it literally helps funnel into Gary's.
Yeah. See it still is at that because I do have a $6,000 program, but we're not promoting that because Gary's is 5,000 and they're different, right? So we created this smaller program so that we can bring people up the ladder to Gary's program. So
Guys, but remember, you always want to do your high ticket first.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is, I'm working with somebody right now and they have 100,000 followers on Instagram, right? And guys, it has nothing to do with followers. You have to understand to get away from this thinking, right? They're struggling because their offer is low ticket and it's $15 a month and they can barely afford to live. Start with your high ticket. So even if for this season, right, Rosa, and again, you can have those three options, but if you have too many things happening and you don't have it working well,
Yes.
you're going to do nothing.
Yes.
Focus on the high, right? Focus on the high process, right? So for me, I have BTI, which is where you guys are right now. I have my next level, which has been Scale to Influence, which we're rebranding right now into the Sales Boss Academy. Because I feel like the sales part is the biggest thing for a lot of people. And I help with all things though, the attract, convert, deliver, and scale, as well as around hiring your team, what all that looks like. And we've just set up this sales boss suite. So I'm super excited. So this is going to be all next level stuff for you guys, to have lots of systems and things organized. And then I have my VIP day. Okay. So this is 50K. This is 10K. And this is 100K for one day with me. Right? So there is this, but when I'm doing my messaging is around people that are around the 10 to 30 that want to get to 100K months. When I have conversations, I'll know whether or not they need to start here. Sometimes my people that are starting also want to be here with me because I know I only have a few spots of those. But you don't want to be, having too many things that are happening in the chat. You don't want to have too many like, well, I have this and I have this, and it'll confuse your person as well. Right?
Yeah. So find the 3, stick to the 3, and keep going.
That's what I think, because
Yeah.
I also know I'm training you. BTI, guys, is so that you have the most amazing foundation. In BTI, I'm helping you with the mindset piece where you coming up where I call where the air is rare, right? You're coming to a higher level of going, wait a second. Like when she talked about getting to 10, 15K months, like I thought that was the whole world. And you're in here and you're being taught. I'm teaching you guys all the things because I want you to master all these things, right? What is mastery? Mastery is being able to excel without the use of conscious resources. I'm teaching you all the things so that you are excellent in sell by chat. You're excellent in your marketing. You're excellent in your 10-minute call. You're excellent in your close, in your strategy call and bringing in money. You're excellent in running your group. You totally know how to run Facebook. And you figured out absolutely how to do this mindset plus tool set plus skill set equals assets. And so you have a perfect foundation. So when I start to say, so now I start dropping bombs to you guys in here. In here, I start saying, well, maybe you could have a $40,000 offer. And so you're like, wait a second, we're doing $3,000 to $5,000 offers. We're doing 3 to 5 of those a month. Now she's saying we could do more. Your brain starts to change. Then you sell something higher, right, Lori? You start to sell something higher and you go, wait a second, if she says we can, I'm going to do this. Then you sell a 15,000 thing, then a 20,000. And then before you know it, you're doing more per month. So now you can join me over here because I want you to get to 1 million a month. And my goal for 2025 is to help 100 founders, lots of them females, mostly females is my hope, do 1 million of sales in one day. But it's a process, just like Lori was saying, right? So when you're chatting with your people in chat, rapport is the container where you can now have an ability to expand their belief system, their skills, and their tools. Rapport allows for that to land, right? Because now I can talk to you guys almost about anything. And you're like, okay, let's try this. So don't overcomplicate, Rosa, but but get organized as in, what is it going to look like for the hero program? It's not 8 to 12 week program. What does it look like for the MRR, monthly recurring program? And what would it look like at a higher level? This is the best thing you'll ever do for yourself. Because when you're in a shopping line, you'll go, why am I here shopping? When you're having a conversation with somebody who is wasting your time, you'll think, why am I like, you just will start to restructure your whole life different once you have a mindset of, I'm called to go somewhere. You've got a whole new vision for yourself. And then you start to implement and you have an offer that is actually making you money. It's amazing how that will shape your calendar all of a sudden. Because you're not going to do the knucklehead things that you used to do, or spend time doing things that just isn't a return on your energy or your investment.
Gary, if you're there, and I wonder if you could jump in just for 2 minutes.
Yep.
I don't want to take any more time here, but Gary, yeah.
Yes, yeah, I've just arrived for my Christian networking session. I'm just parking. So yeah, thank you for that. Excellent. Brought more clarity. Coach Heaven, great. And Rose and I will distill and apply that specifically to our situation, which we already pretty much have. And my second outcome here, I hope, is just for another minute or two. Rosa started asking about, because we do want to send these audio messages to these two groups of people, one who have stopped communicating and the other one we've sent them something. So could you suggest any kind of structure or elements of these audio messages, please, to re-engage?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Thank you.
you can also do something that's going to be less investment of time on your part. So I'll share what in a second. But for the people that are absolutely, again, is this email or in chat? This is email, right?
Chat. This is all chat.
No, chat.
Okay. So chat, people who have done nothing. I love sending just to kind of pop it back up, a funny GIF before you do the audio. Right? So find something that your person is going to find funny. Right? Like the one of Tom Hanks, when he's stranded on the island, right? With the basketball that he's talking to, right? Like, and just like kind of like waving, like, hello, is anyone out there? You don't want it to be offensive. You don't want, but something that's funny that your person will go, oh my goodness, I totally forgot to get back to you. Which in general, professional people care about that a little bit more than somebody who's not professional. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because even if you don't love the person, you're at least aware that there's like a professional kind of standard or integrity to like at least keep on communication with somebody, right? So you could try that. So Gary, I would think of like go through the gifts and look for something, because I'll tell you why. That's something that you can dial back and you can do 40 fast and get those moving. Right. And then
Sure.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's good. So that's a good one. And in addition, I would like some framework for the audio, because the audio, I think, as you've often suggested, is a strong way to engage.
Yeah, and I think like go back through your chats. And if you feel like, what I would do is I would my gut is telling me that go like take a look at, have you been building enough like warmth and connection and your audio to say, right? Just like I have ones that say, I see you, right? I see you that you rise early and you're working late. I am talking to somebody who's trapped in the first level of value. When I start talking over here and I speak about, I see you, you're working hard, you're rising early, you're going to bed late, you're showing up to every meeting, you're doing all these things, you're doing posting on social media, you're working your job, you're feeding your 4 kids, all the things, they are now crying. Right, Hillary? Like they hear this from me and they're like crying. That's what you need, Gary and Rosa, and for all of you, is when you can speak in the frequency of heaven. I've just got a hold of Erwin McManus's new book about the 7 frequencies. If you guys need a good read, right? Isn't it good, Hillary? So I'm going to be teaching more and more and more on the frequency of heaven in business as the years go on. But there's so much about that frequency. Like Gary, if you say to your person, you know, you know, I see you. And it may feel weird for you, but allow it to grow you up into the person that God wants you to be. And speak over them. I see. And so what are some of the things that you're seeing with your person, Gary? I see that you've had turnover yet again. I see that you showed up early for your meeting and you feel as though you're the only person who's listening to your motivational speech. I see that you stayed late again, only to find that at home, they're not appreciating that there's nobody else who's really standing up at work. Right? Like hit them in the guttural punch, get them bang on. Because
So
they're
does
not,
this mean that we're actually following their profile?
this is, you know, your person well enough that, like, I say these things because I know you guys so well. I'm not looking at your profile. I know what you're going through.
Right, but these are complete strangers on Pepper.
100%. All of you guys were complete strangers on Pepper. And you're like, you're part of my family now. I'm part of
Okay.
your family now.
Yeah. Okay,
I
I
get
get it.
messages, guys, from you guys and from clients saying, I had somebody send me a message yesterday and she said, for the next 50 years, I'm going to send you a message every day to tell you how you've changed my life forever. So get that guttural with your person, because even if it's not the right timing, when it is the right timing, are they going to anyone else to buy from? Yes or no?
No.
No way. You have just dialed in to the very core of who they are. You are getting them. And when you get them, and you're not talking about, guys, this is the thing. I think you guys focus way too much on here's my stuff, here's my thing, here's my content, here's the thing I solve, here's the stuff I do. It is important, right? Because obviously I have a process, obviously I have training. But if all your focus is on here's my stuff, here's my content, here's my solutions, you want clarity, you want confidence, you want to have purpose, you want to have a vision, like, let's get guttural to the staying up late, the working late, the turnovers, the not being seen, them having less so that others can have more. Like, just make a list, Gary, of all these things that you get your person and write it out, right? And practice you saying it. You've got one of the top 10% voices in the world.
Yeah, here.
So,
I've told them that
That's good.
1,000 times.
So
Yep.
use it, right? Like, do you want
Yes.
to know how I found my audio? Is because I used to record myself saying like the Bible or singing. So it was either saying the Bible or singing. This is years ago. And I would go to Toastmasters or I would have events and I would just send them as a thank you. And people would message me saying, do you know that I cannot go to sleep without listening to you now? Can you please send me something else? Right, Gary, you're going to have the same experience when you are saying to them, I see you, and you write it. And the beautiful thing about that audio is then later when and you can do it whenever, but when you have somebody help with some marketing, and I would highly recommend Jens, who I have for my marketing. I have somebody else too that's in back end that's local. But Jens does most of those things. But then you can take your audio and he can put some video to it for 1 minute, and now you have a reel.
Yep. Very good.
And then that can go on
Okay.
all platforms, right?
Yeah.
So we got the audio and we connected with each of these people who haven't responded for a while or who haven't, mostly them. And then once they respond, we go into the next process. And then there should probably be another audio, which is speaking more about how we can serve. Any suggestions about something like that?
No, because it depends. Like if they have had a call or they've seen your video or they've had content, they know those things.
Right. So no, they haven't got any of that as yet, mostly. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I would do that and then they're going to respond. Like usually my person responds with, oh my goodness, and like tears and like, or they send me a voice message and they're like, you have no idea about like how much that touched my life and how do you know me? Like, you know me so well. I feel like you're right here talking. So now you can talk to them about anything.
Yeah, Gary, you missed the first part of it, so I can fill you in. So I don't want
Okay.
to be redundant
Okay.
here and take up more time. So
Yep.
I think we've got the full thing now. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank
You
you.
got
Thank
to,
you.
Rosa,
Coach Evan.
100%. And Gary, you guys all the best with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But audio, definitely. And I'm going to be doing more and more teaching in them. Those of you who are going to be joining me in the next level for 2025, we're going to do a whole training on that. BTI, we want you guys to get to 15K months. And there is a huge tendency for going around the mountain, navel gazing, staring at your own belly button, and looking at shiny objects in this phase of getting to 15K months. So I don't want to add more, but get to 15K months and then you can join me in the Sales Boss Academy where you can boss it up, you can hire somebody, and you can really scale to that $1 million mark. Okay. Who else has a question before we close out? If anybody needs help with stuff, if there's stuff you want to just, and I love if you guys are just here too for the vibes, I get it. Here's the thing. If things are tough or things are not working, it's so important to ask the questions and humble yourself. Don't hide and wait till things are good to then tell people, right? That's our tendency as humans, isn't it? Like we tend to like hide. And then when things are great, we're like, oh, here I am. It's like, it's not healthy. We need to be able to be honest when we're struggling or we need help in different things. So over the next month, make some decisions, right? So today, tomorrow we are having the preloaded year training, and anybody who's listening live or in BTI, anybody's listening, anybody here who doesn't know, if you haven't registered, you definitely want to register for that. And it's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And it'll go roughly about 90 minutes, could be 2 hours, because it's an implementation time. Go ahead, Lori.
Is it being recorded so that we can watch it later?
100% it is.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Like you guys have access to everything, right? So anything that is recorded, you have access to. So
it'll be in BTI then?
It'll be in BTI. Yeah.
Okay,
so you can
good.
watch it. But here's the thing for those of you, I just so encourage you and your teams to be live, because you'll be given some time to kind of map out like, okay, when's our retreats? What's our big ticket? When are we going to do our masterclass every month? Where like all these things, because can I tell you guys, can we just be real honest? Can we have a family room meeting for a second? Many of you have already had people come to you and say, can we do this? Would you like to do this? Our church is having a mission trip. Oh, we're having a bake sale. Oh, and you guys are already going, yes, 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 yes. And you haven't even planned out your year. And write this down. Your cash flow follows your calendar. Your cash flow follows your calendar, right? Like if you're thinking on a monthly basis, you're going, okay, I'm going to do the $1 million daily and I'm going to do those triage calls. Set up how many 10-minute calls you're doing per day. Set up how many of those strategy calls you're doing per week and how much money that's going to be on the weekly. And if you're not doing any of it, ask yourself, why not? And don't allow yourself to believe when you say it's contributing factors. So, if somebody's getting married, if you are moving, like, do you guys ever consider that I go through the same things as everybody else? Right? So it truly is you taking control, and not in the bad word of control, and leading from the front and saying, I'm the one. Jesus and I are partnering together and we are planning out this year. And don't holiatize. I absolutely hate holiatizing. Don't holiatize and go, well, I'm waiting on the Lord. Let's see what the Lord brings. If we go, let's see what the Lord brings, you're going to be in poverty. It's actually not a plan. If you step into a plan and you say, okay, next year I'm making whatever it is, 10K months, 100K months, whatever you're deciding. $1 million day. I'd go for the $1 million day. Just sounds better. Then from there, you plan out your whole year. Doesn't that look better? What are you going to do? What are some exciting things that you're planning to do? Who are you planning to work with? I want to hold one of the biggest events in the world in 2026. I've already contacted a few really famous people to do a huge event in Florida. Lori, you'll be so happy. And everybody else can fly there, right? Where we have worship, we have baptisms, we have speaking on the stage about making all kinds of insanely amazing money. We have testimonies of people and churches and experiences. I just think it's going to be like this amazing kingdom entrepreneur event that nobody's ever seen. Tiffany's already getting excited. And part of it is, Tiffany, I saw you there like baptizing people at the event. So I love it how God shows me things, right? I'll see certain things. I'll see Lori having her hand on somebody and like writing out something for somebody and directing them. I'll see Lauren like sitting and crying with a woman. And I love that. When you connect with your heart, and guys, it starts back here. It starts with the audios. It starts with the studying your person, Hillary, having the calls, having the questions with them, being inquisitive, caring about them so much to find the solutions. Are you guys with me? Just keep leaning in, keep leaning in. Plan out your year. Plan out your year for great things to happen, because you cannot have a spirit of expectation and hope and anxiety. They cannot exist together. Expectation is your greatest superpower. Expectation's your greatest superpower. And you have to cut off plan B. You must cut off plan B. If you make a decision that I am successful, I close sales. I love closing sales. Decide I master the art of selling. I am getting better and better at that every day. Speak in those terms so that you are prepared for your future self. Because he or she is calling you up higher. They're calling you to the where the air is rare. Amen. Well, guys, I'm so happy to spend this time with you. I love each and every one of you. I believe that you really can do this. And we're here. So during the holidays, you'll see the calendar. You'll see like the scheduled and the things that are happening. I know it's a busy season, so participate, but don't pull back. Lean into the group, ask for feedback, share when you've created something new, share when you want to know about just different things. If you're stuck on something, lean in, ask for help. Okay, does everybody make that commitment? Because I want every detail in your planning. You can have a fabulous Christmas, right? You can still have a fabulous Christmas and plan for all your business every day. Get up at 4 a.m. Right? If you're working all day long, you can do between 4 and 7 in the morning. Is like, if you think about that, that's 21 hours a week. You can build a business on 10 hours a week. I believe in you guys. Reach out, get the help that you need. We're here for you. Who would like to close us out in prayer today? Hillary, do you want to?
I was just thinking about coming off mute. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for the connection that you've created here between each of us and Coach Heaven. Thank you for leading through her. And I pray, Lord, that each of us would step out boldly in obedient faith and claim the dreams that you've put inside of our hearts, that we would be bold in order to serve others, because our person is out there and they are crying.
and they need us, especially this time of season. They need us. So, Lord, I pray that for your wisdom and discernment. And I pray, Lord, that each of us would step out and do your work and answer the call that you've put on us. Give us clarity as we move forward. And we love you so much, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So beautiful. Love you guys. Have a fantastic week. Unmute and say goodbye. We will see
Thank you. Love you, Coach
next time.
Sheila.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
And everybody else.
Have a fantastic week. Bye for now.